2019 NFL Draft kicks off in Nashville, or kicked off last night in Nashville. The bets are still coming in fast for the year's top picks, with legalized betting now in 8 states. Where does the industry stand almost a year after the Supreme Court lifted a nationwide ban? Well, joining us now is Matt King. He's the CEO of online betting company FanDuel. Nice to see you. How much has your business grown since that was lifted?
Our business has grown tremendously. It's the market in New Jersey has been 3 to 4 times what we thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah.
3 to 4 times what you anticipated it would be once it was legalized.
Once it was legalized.
So what accounts for that?
I think a couple things. I think one is the offshore market is far bigger than I think anybody thought. So it was funny when we actually launched, we spent a lot of time talking about educational materials. People would be new to sports betting, and more often than not, somebody would walk in the door for the first time and say, I'd like to put $100 down on a six-leg parlay that does this, this, and this. And you're like, you've clearly done this before. And so a lot of our early business has been people that are shifting away from doing it illegally and doing it legally. And then we're also picking up a lot of people that are new to sports betting.
You are. And people will bet on virtually anything. I would assume, including the draft order last night.
People will pick up.
Anybody have that absurd pick from the New York Giants at number 6, Daniel Jones? Was there anyone out there?
I think we had a couple people there.
Really?
We did.
And that will continue even into the second round? People betting on the draft?
Yep.
What is the most concentrated area, though, of betting? Where does it take place?
So if you look at it from the number of players perspective, football is still the biggest. So on an NFL weekend, 100% of the people that bet put something on football. But it's actually only about 25 to 30% of our handle. And so when they're betting on football, they'll also bet on a lot of other things. And so college has been huge, basketball is big. But then you get some small sports that over-index, so tennis, golf, et cetera, are sports that on the average week, most people don't care about, but we get a lot of people engaged with through betting.
I mean, if you're talking about how good betting has been for your business, why are you saying that it will never be legalized across the country?
From a legislative perspective, gaming has historically been a state-by-state issue. And so if you look at casino gaming, it's only in about 30 to 35 states, even after 30 years after you've seen a rise in casino gaming. And so our perspective is there's just such a patchwork of regulation that exists between state by state, but also the interaction with tribal compacts, that it would be very hard to ever enact national legislation that legalizes it across the board.
Now, if I access your website via my phone in New York, can I make a bet?
Nope.
I can't.
Nope.
But if
you can see the odds.
If I cross over
Yep.
to New Jersey, I can?
Yep. You can literally drive across the bridge, and at some point when you get over the bridge,
it'll recognize that I'm in New Jersey and allow me to bet.
Yep.
And so you're telling me there are people in New York who aren't figuring out a way to game that?
Absolutely.
Really?
We test it 6 ways to Sunday. The regulators test it 6 ways to Sunday. It's an existential issue for us. And so we look at it and say, there's no way that we're ever going to let somebody bet when they're not in New Jersey.
I have a question. It's a busy time for you with golf and the hockey playoffs, NBA playoffs. I mean, how do you capitalize on the fact that basketball is the hottest sport right now, even with playoffs without LeBron James? What kind of action are you seeing there?
So, basketball has been huge for us. I mean, you obviously went from college basketball and March Madness being a tremendous opportunity for us, and also something people engaged with. For us, the way we approach the world is always, every night there's an interesting story to tell. And what we typically do is use our marketing and our promotions to tell the interesting story of the night. So if the Nets are playing in the playoffs, we'll do an odds boost on the Nets. So we'll actually make it richer for the bettor to back the Nets. And it makes it more likely that we'll lose money if the Nets play. But what it does is it puts us kind of side by side with the sports fan on their couch, kind of rooting along with them.
You kind of have to create the buzz.
We have to create the buzz.
What about, speaking of buzz, golf I know has been very popular on fantasy. How much of a bump did you see with Tigers and the Masters and winning that?
So we saw a huge bump. We also lost a lot of money, which we were very happy about. And most people say, why are you happy when you lose money? And the reality is, it was a great day for sports. People engaged, and it was a lot of fun.
Is it like a lot of things, 10% of your customer base is responsible for 80% of your bets?
No, it's a lot more even.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Matt, thank you for checking in. Appreciate it.